Let's see if I have to cut to myself going, oh my God, it was a disaster. Welcome everybody to the Minneapolis Museum of Art. This is where my wedding is going to be today. Finally got everything all set up. Took a little bit longer than usual because had a couple of setups that I want to talk to you about. Let me show you the main one first, and then I'll show you the insane dinner space and how we had to get that covered. So the RCF J8's, I got the Ape Labs sticks attached. Ape Labs8's also all around. This is my new skin for my laptop. I got it at Skin It. I'll leave a link in the description. We got the Denon Prime 2, iPad mini. Laptop is basically for timeline for me to write down requests and if I need an emergency as a backup. Ape stick right there on top of the booth. I'm using a Yamaha JMIX8's mixer today for the music. We've got my V-Moda headphones, Furman underneath there, drinks. And then this is my backup cables, like anything I need in case shit hits the fan. Over here, this is the salsa booth. All right, this thing is dope, guys. I'm telling you, sets up anywhere. And we're just using the wall here at the museum. I don't do backdrops. I don't do props. I don't do any of that shit. I keep it easy. And then take a look. I've got the Ape Labs8's doing candlelight. Yes, they do candlelight around this hall. It's beautiful, by the way. So the ceremony is actually happening right now. You can probably hear like the live strings. There's some live strings going on for the ceremony. All right, I gotta show you this insane dining room. This is where we're doing dining tonight. Look at that. It's like Bruce Wayne's dinner table.
The soup. How is it?
This is gonna be the head table where the grooms will be and their family members. And then we got another one all the way down here. Look at this. So how are we doing this? How am I pulling off this sound? I connected with the venue AV team before we started, and they said they were gonna set up 3 speakers for me. Here's one. Over here is 2, and then right here is the 3rd one, and they're all connected to each other. They are using wireless lapels here to connect them to each other. I've got my Denon Prime Go, and I've got my wireless mic, my Sennheiser right there, and that's plugged into the Go. The Go is plugged into this one right here, and then we're sending music and the microphone to everything here. Not gonna lie, I was a little nervous about if we were gonna be able to pull this off, but we did do a sound check, and you know how it is. Sound check's great. Let's see if I have to cut to myself going, oh my God, it was a disaster. Hopefully not. Sound check was great. Everything sounded good. Now again, we've got, you guys see, we got really, really high ceilings and everything is very boomy in here. So, you know, with these tops, it doesn't sound amazing, but hopefully people will be able to hear. All I really need to do is get dinner music, cocktail music here, and speeches were very important. I wanted to make sure that those cut through. And to be honest, look, I got a speaker right here that's hit right at the head table there. And if the head table is the only one that can hear the speeches, and those fuckers all the way at the end don't hear it, I don't give a shit. Well, I would like them to hear it. I care about the head table. After that's all done, then we're gonna move into here for their first dance, and we're gonna kick right into it. Not a lot of formalities. Soundcheck was funny though. I played like a song, and because I'm in a museum and like people are still doing shit, I mean, like I played like 8 seconds of a song, and like the security guard came over and was like, is that it? I'm like, yeah, that's it. Okay. So I could barely play anything. The guy that just walked past me in the camera, that was the one I was just talking shit on. So that's nice. Way to go, Aaron. Is done, cocktail hour is done, we're starting to serve dinner, and so far the speakers are working great. All 3 of the speakers are getting coverage to all parts of the room. I feel as best as we could. Using those lapels is definitely making it easier we don't have to have XLRs everywhere. I do have one question for you. How many of you think I'm gonna get somebody in that fountain later on tonight when we kick into the dance? I hope so. I brought my Ape Labs with me. The venue has these Chauvet Freedom Pars. They look pretty good. You know, I feel like the advantage still with the Ape Labs is just, you know, here, we'll do a size comparison. Right there, that's the Ape Lab Maxi, here's the Chauvet Par. I don't know if you can change the colors with the remote, but my remote changes the color. This one has 4 lights in it, mine only has 3. It's a little bit brighter, but it still looks really good in this room. Let's talk about this wedding, but beforehand, just gotta give a quick shout out to everybody who has hit that red button. Thank you, you guys bumped me past a big goal that I had for this year, getting me to 2,000 subscribers. It's unbelievable. Maybe one day we'll all get into a room and, you know, we can just take our shirts off. Why did I take the RCF JMIX8's with me instead of the Bose 32s? One of the main reasons was, as you saw with the setup, I knew I had like this crazy kind of coverage that I needed to get during dinner. And I just figured that if I needed to use my speakers, which not only did I bring the J8s, I brought my JBL Eon 1 Mark II, so I had extra speakers in case theirs were shit, that I could switch them out and use mine. I think the best thing I did though was call that staff during the week because I'd never played there before. I saw a blueprint of the layout and it terrified me a little bit because I went on their website and looked at pictures of it too, like, oh, that's a really, really long room. How am I gonna do this? So when I connected with the AV team, we talked on the phone, we came up with a plan, and then when I showed up, you know, I showed them my Denon Prime Go, like, hey, let's run everything through my mixer, because they wanted to run an XLR cable all the way to the dance room and run things that way. And I thought, no, let me bring a mixer out into that space, run everything there. That way I'm not running back and forth and adjusting microphones and trying to turn music down. But I knew, like, what am I gonna do if we set this whole thing up and it just sounds horrible? Now the bummer here is that they had spent all this time and work and they ran all those cables and they got those speakers out, and for me to show up and be like, we're not using these. I feel like it probably could have been butting heads, a moment of contention, possibly a fight that would break out. And so, like, the question remains, what do you do? Do what you think is right in terms of sound quality to save the event. You piss all these people off. Here's how I approached it. I thought, unless it's an absolute disaster, like, we cannot do it. I was thinking, because they're AV guys, I'm hoping that they could hear it too. You know, they're not super stubborn also, like, well, I set the speakers up, we're gonna use it. Like, hopefully they could notice too, like, this sounds terrible, and then we could work together on the solution. So that was my plan. If that didn't work, I was gonna punt to the wedding coordinators and have them tell them, like, hey, can you tell the AV staff that we're not using their shitty speakers? And then, you know, that's what they get paid for, to get in between us so that there's no fights. Luckily, that didn't happen and everything worked out. All right, the Denon Prime Go has saved my ass many times. You saw even in this video, it was super handy to have that while I was in that dinner space. I did a full review of the controller. You can watch it right here. Check out all the features, everything that it does. I still stand by it. It is super, super dope. I love it. Check it out, and I'll see you at the next one.